as we welcome all to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. And just as I join you, Simit is gone. So Simit is gone. Steve Green picked up the wicket. Is that the case? I saw him walking off the field. Just as I looked up, I saw Simit walking off. It's a no ball. Wow, it's a no ball. So Simit get a reprieve. A no ball. It's 274 for 5. So just as I joined you, I saw Simit walking off, but then it now 274 for 5. So that was a close call for Simit. I never saw the dismissal. I joined you before I got my gear on, and I was putting on my gear. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate much. So it's a no ball. You have to have something behind the line. Here is Simit. He comes in, bowls. His edge. Oh, through the gap. What happened there? As Simit went on to play a flourishing back foot drive in that cavalier West Indian manner. Edge found, and it flew between the keeper and first slip. Then it must be the keeper catch. Let's see. Edge found. It's over his head. Over his head. And they are bemused. I would love to see the height on that ball. Keeper catch. Could he have reached it? Could first slip have gone to his left? What happened there? It's bemusing. So it's excitement since I come on. Right away, it's excitement. Here, Green to Simit. Simit covers up, plays it into the offside. He's on 26, 278 for 5. So immediately as I come on, happy Sunday to you too, Athena and Patrick Davy. Good night, man. Respect, good to have you here. And I apologize for being late. I wanted to catch the start of the match. I was prepared for the start of the match, but they were still showing NFL on the channel Rush Sport 2 that it is coming on. So they just started. So as soon as they started, I started. So Green to Simit. Simit played it to mid-on, and there is no run. So the tall, lanky, right arm fast bowler. Yes, he's fast. He has cranked it up to 140 in the past. So he's fast and he's tall. He's big and strong. So 10.3 overs, none for 65. Is that another no ball? Yeah, they said that is where the foot landed first. So if it had slid to where it was, let's watch Green. 2 slips on a gully. Comes in, bowls to Simit. Simit covers up, played it on the pitch. And he picked up the ball, asked permission to pick it up and toss it to one of the fielders. So when the fast bowler is bowling, it is when he landed, that's where the no ball is judged from, not where the foot slide to. So it's the first point of contact that he made. When he makes that first point of contact, a portion of the foot has to be behind the popping crease. He's over the wicket, bowls to Simit off the back foot, flashes it away down to backward point, and they will get a single, one more to the total. The score goes up now to 279 for 5. And you know, we have a poll going on, so it's going to be very interesting to see what persons think in the poll. 3. So the going number seems to be 300, between 300 and 349. 42% of you think that they'll make between 300 and 349. Well, they are on course for that. Certainly, I think they will go over the 300 mark unless there's a dramatic collapse. Green to Simit. He leaves, to Root. He leaves it alone outside the half stump, goes through to the keeper. End of over number 63. Australia have picked up 2 wickets this morning, having resumed on 211 for 3. England lost overnight batsman Harry Brook. He went caught by Simit in the slip of Boland. He fishes at a wide one, and he was out caught for 84 from 97 deliveries. 6 fours and 1 6. Then Ben Stokes was caught by Carey off the bowling of Stark. He stood around for 11 deliveries, but he was unable to get off the mark before Carey took the catch off the bowling of Stark. And so the last 2 quick wicket. But then since then, these two have stabilized the innings with. They have put on 50 because he went at 229. So these two have put on 50, yes. So there's a 50-run partnership between these two. So 50-run partnership between these two. So good going, good comeback here by England. It's 279 for 5. I'm doing great, Patrick Davey. I am great, man. I'm glad to have you here. Respect every time. Respect every time, Patrick Davey. So let's watch now as he's over the wicket, bowls solid in defense. Come Jamie Simmet. So he's now second down and batting well. Power of my poetry. Well, let's call him Power. Let's call the person Power. Power, how you doing? Good evening to you too, man. It's a pleasure having you here. No, there's no official squad release yet. I am great, Garth Williams. There's no official squad. So there are 3 slips in place as Nessa comes in, bowls to Simmet, and he steered it to third slip, and there is no run. 279 for 5. Good night, Common Sense. Appreciate you being here, man. Good to have you all here. I really always enjoy the company. Common Sense, you know, from last night, Common Sense, you have been pressuring Green. And so Common Sense think that Green deserve a red card. He have long legs, so maybe that's why it went over the puffing crease, over the batting crease. Nessa to Simmet. Simmet guided into the offside, and the English batsmen, they just guide through for another single, which will put the score now up to 280 for 5. So there are 280 for 5 with 2 deliveries to come in over number 64. And, you know, it just seemed like it's a proper cricket match going on, you know. For a long time in the series, the series was explosive. There's an explosion of batsmen. So it appears that the players have taken the word of the Australian Prime Minister seriously when he asked them to please make sure that the match goes into the 3rd day. And probably the umpires last night ensure that it does too, because I clearly think that play could have gone on, or maybe there was a risk of lightning strike. I don't know, but I think some play could have gone on. But the umpires taking the comment of the Australian Prime Minister seriously, and so they ensure that it goes into a 3rd day. And that is, Root tried to guide that down to slip. He did guide it down to slip, but Green collected on the bounce. End of over number 64, 280 for 5. Common Sense is saying Green adds nothing to the current series. That's true, you know, Common Sense. I agree with you. He has not been performing, and I would not have played him in this test match. I would have played Brew Webster, and I'd have played the spinner, because right now I think that Australia missed the spinner, Miss Murphy, you know. And I think that if Lyons was fit, they would have played Lyons, but Murphy's not Lyons, you know. They are miles apart, you know. Lyons would have commanded his place in this team as he would have probably been the number 2 bowler in this team behind Stark. So he would have commanded this place and he would have played. But Murphy cannot command this place the same way that Lyons can command this place. And so I would have still gone with Murphy, definitely. And I would have left out Chris Green, and I would have bat Brew Webster at number 7. So I am with you on that, you know, Common Sense, but you are hitting him hard. Common sense said, Green seems like he's frustrated, said Jamor Smalls. There are two slips in a gully. A man on the deep backward point boundary. Green bowls to Simit, who covers up and played it to the field that cover. So it's a 6-3 field as usual. There are two slips. There's a gully. There is a man on the deep backward point boundary. Then there is an extra cover and a mid-off. There is also a mid-on, a mid-wicket, and a man on the fine leg boundary. The Sydney pitch is for the batsmen. Well, let's see. Because although there were grass on it 3 days out, it turned brown by the match to start. Well, not really turned brown, but the grass was gone by the match to start. So let's see, common sense. It's 280 for 5 after 64.3 overs. 280 for 5. Simit is on 28, or is that 6? Well, he's on 20 odd. Root is on 105, and Root has been on 105 for a very, very, very long time now. You know, so it's interesting. Green bowls to Simit, and Simit leaves it alone as it goes through to the keeper. 280 for 5. So 4 dot balls in this over thus far. So he has to be bowling well. I know common sense doesn't like that, you know, to someone to say that Green is bowling well. But come on, common sense. He has bowled 4 major deliveries in the over. What happened to Steve Simit? He's off the field. He probably took a bathroom break. Simit bowls off the back foot. He goes through the covers. Work for the man at extra cover. He's running out towards the boundary. He picks up now. He held it, and look which end to throw it. They're not going to go back for 3. They're second and 2. 2 more to the total. He moves up to 30. So he was indeed on 28. 282 for 5. 1 to come in over number 65. So 1 to come in over number 65. So Simit probably went for a bathroom break. And, you know, this has been a long session. It started at 6 o'clock. And it will go right up to 8:30. Green over the wicket, bowls to Simit, edge over the top, down to the boundary for 4. He was on the back foot looking to cut it, took the edge over the slip, down to the boundary for 4. Green is causing some trouble here with his height. But that pushes the score now to 286 for 5 at the end of over number 65, as he was on his back foot looking to cut. It get the upper portion of the bat. It flew this time high over second slip, and it went into the boundary for 4. That's how I hope the West Indies batsmen are looking, said Desmond Gardner. Good evening and welcome to the show. Appreciate it. Well, I have always said, you know, Desmond Gardner, if I was a coach of the West Indies team, you know, the players would have to watch other team play Test cricket. It's something that I've always said. So, you know, I agree with you. I think they should be looking. Garth Williams, have they pulled out of the World Cup, or have they said that they are not going to India to play any match? They would play their matches in Sri Lanka. That's my understanding of it. You know, the last information I saw, I can check ICC. I'm gonna check the ICC media group. Yes, I'm checking the ICC media group. I don't see anything on it from ICC. My understanding is that they let's watch, worked away by Joe Root through mid-on, between mid-on and mid-wicket, down to the wide long on boundary for 4, and he goes up by 4. The score goes up now to 290 for 5, England, after 65.2 overs. So, Garth Williams, I'm not seeing anything from ICC. The last thing I heard on it is that they have decided that they are not going to India to play any World Cup matches because of safety reasons. You know, when it comes to that safety reason, you know, if a man said that him don't feel safe, you know, boss, you Nesta bowls to Root, and he's owning in that on that pad, but Root is not missing the deliveries, at least not yet. Good is a good batsman, and Nesta is owning in on that pad. It's like you're training. It's like you're a coach and having a training session, and a player tell you, say, you know, we feel something. You know, he might be lying because he wants to stop. But if he said to you that he's feeling something, you have to stop. You know, you have to stop, and you say, so okay, high sit or something like that, or have it checked out or so on. You know, but you have to stop if he said he has an injury. So it's a similar thing when it comes to the safety thing. If a man said that, boy, they don't feel safe, you just can't. His own feeling, you know, you can't tell him how he feel, you know. So, but the last thing I heard on it, 290 for 5 after 65.4 overs. But the last thing I heard on it is that they don't want to go to India. 3 slips goes down, and solid in defense Root as he played it to cover, and there is no run. So there are now 3 slips. They have gotten rid of the backward point. Not the backward point, the gully. So there are 3 slips, a deep backward point on the boundary, a cover, a mid-off. Those are the 6 on the offside. Then you have a mid-on, you have a mid-wicket, and you have a man on the fine leg boundary, or you could say long leg. He's a bit squarer than that. He's about on 45. That's mid-sail Stark. So Nessa, over the wicket, bowls to Root short, and he pulls this away, down backward of square leg, and they have pushed back the man. So they have pushed back the man, and there's a single for Root. He moves up to 109, 291 for 5 after 66 overs. Yes, so Garth Williams, I do think that they have not pulled out of the World Cup. They said that they are not traveling to England. So Stephen Roach, have you voted? Yes. Have you, Common Sense said, have you noticed that since the Aussies lost 6 for 38, that they have not been batting well? No, I have not noticed, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. Green comes in, bowls to Joe Root, who plays it to backward point, and there is no run. But I think England and their supporters are going to feel very, very hurt by not winning this Ashes series, because Australia was there for the taking. This Australia team is not a good team, you know. You know, they are proficient, they are hardworking, they are fighters. But I don't see them as a good team. Green to Root, who stand tall and covers up, played it into the covers, and there is no run. I don't see them as that unbeatable team. And they definitely, the English will be saying, boy, we'll let this one slip. Because England might well win this second test, you know, this 5th test, and bring back the series 2-3, and then they'll be saying, boy, if we had just turned up at the start of the tour instead of playing golf. 291 for 5. Green bowls to Root, and Root work it down to long on. Chase for the field at mid-on. That's Boland, who ambers after it. He held onto the ball. He rubs it on his pants. 293 now for 5 after 66.3 over. 293 for 5. My score is behind on the screen, but I prefer it that way. When the score is ahead, it's you know. Big up Desmond Gardner from Canada. Yes, it's the same person who asked that he hoped that the West Indies batsmen are watching. Yes, it's okay, Garth Williams. We all make mistakes. We are human beings. That's all right. No, I have a problem with that. As Joe Root drives that one on the hop, bunks away to mid-on, and there is no run. Australia won't give you a wicket when they reach in the 300 region, but you have to pay me a lot. Australia, if you want, I can give you a wicket when they reach in the 300 region, said Jamur Small. So 293 for 5. It's Green. Over the wicket to Root. Short. He pulls down backward of square leg, straight to the fielder on the backward of square leg boundary, and they get a single. Well, in fact, he is in front of square on the boundary. He's not backward, he's in front of square. So 294 now for 4. Joe Root is on a 113. James Smith is on 34 from 47 deliveries. Remind you that Brook went for 84 this morning and the captain Ben Stokes went for naught. So 2 slipped that man on the deep backward square leg boundary. Then the gully, the mid off, the mid on, the mid wicket, James Smith covers up and played it to the man at cover, and there is no run. End of 67. Patrick Davey, how you doing? Good night, man. Yeah, well, I agree with you that Root is one of the best batsmen in the world. Many persons would say that he's the best batsman in the world, but he can bat, and scoring 2 centuries in 4 test matches because he was out cheaply at Perth. So he scored, so he has scored 2 centuries, and a pink ball 100 is always a good 100. Ben Stokes must have had Rastan Chase talking to him in the dressing room, going by Stokes' performance. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Ben Stokes was talking to Vivian Richards when he made ducks, or Brian Lara. Brian Lara made 17 ducks in Test cricket. Was Ben Stokes talking to him? When was Rastan Chase talking to Lara when he was making those ducks? Stephen Roach always come with something where you wonder about the parallel of them. England went through for another quick single there. So it's now 295. 295 for 5. Another quick single. The return comes in. So Green is going to bowl to Smith. Root is 114. Smith is on 34. Bowls, and he went on the back foot and bottom edge it into the pitch, and it goes to the man at backward point. So Webster has replaced Green. So they equally tall alike. They both do the same thing. Yeah. Root is good, Patrick Davey. Everyone knows. I would have said that for England to win the series, despite the hype, Root would have to make a lot of runs. He didn't make the runs in the first 3 tests that they wanted, although he make 100 in the second test. And that's a good 100, because the series was still live and it was a pink ball test. So it was a good 100. It just covers up and he plays that to mid on, and there is no run. I don't think that I don't think so. Glenn Willis saying that Australia is not playing with the same intensity. I don't think so. World Championship points is at stake. Is not only the Ashes. Smith diving stop by the man at mid-on, and there is no run. Kawaja is it, and there is no run. And that's the difference between Test cricket nowadays, because World Championship points is at stake. And I'm sure Australia want to win the World Test Championship. They are still hurting from the defeat to New Zealand, to South Africa earlier this year in the World Test Championship, and they want to win it. So I don't see that Glenville, I do not see a lack of intensity, and I doubt that. Mark, I'm watching on my television, but from watching on the television, I do not see a lack of intensity. End of over number 68, 295 for 5, England in their first inning. Smith is on 34. Joe Root is on 114, but I don't see that. It may not be a good team, said Common Sense, but they have a champion mentality. True, soft skills are important. Very good. I endorse everything you said there. Yeah, well, I don't know where you are, Sherwin, but where I am is night. You could say evening turning into night, but it's night. It's night where I am. I hope you are watching how not to run from every short ball. Why, Sherwin, as you come on, you mash down the West Indies player, man. As you mash down, yes. Why would you call it the Australia B bowling lineup? This is the bowling lineup that won the second test in a Nestor, Bowl, and Stark. It only missed Lions. So why would you call it a B bowling lineup? This is, yeah, they won the second test. So that's Stephen Roach though who was saying that. Steered away down to short third man for another single by Joe Root. He moves up to 115. So both tall gentlemen just trying to get some overs in before the new ball, the second new ball. And this is where Murphy would have come in handy. So I think Australia missed a trick there. But Stephen Roach always out of the loop. Him always coming with something, man. Good evening. Yes, good evening, Sherwin. Yeah, well, drive. Brilliant stop there in the covers by Kawaja. Oh, it's not Kawaja. Who is that? Oh, Labachain. Sorry, Labachain. So Green pitched up and Smith was into the drive. Sweetly timed. Labachain diving to his right in the covers and knocking it down. And there's no run. Happy New Year to you too, David Burton. Yeah, man. Yeah, working on it, David Burton. Working on it. Bowls to Smith who hit this high in the air. Fielder going back. Can he get there? No. And will they come back for 2? Let's see what happened. Yes, they are back for 2. So Smith looking to take on Green now. Slightly back of the length and hit it over deep mid-wicket. He never timed it properly. And it lobbed over Bowl and Ed and they come back for 2. So $298 for 5. Is that the Barmy? No, that's not the Barmy Army. What they call them? Green to Smith and Smith drive. It peels off the outside edge and goes down to that man on the deep backward point boundary for another single. $299 now for 5. He moves up to 37. Joe Root on 115 comes into strike. So there's an old man Kawaja showing us how to do it. Yes. And just let's watch Green. Watching cricket is good, but doing it is another thing. Green bowls to Root work it till mid-on. There is no run. $299 for 9. 1 to come in over number 69. The new ball is going to be very important. Well, that's not what I know it as. Evening is considered from 6 to 9 and after 9, Well, the night is made up of evening and night and morning, So just like how the day is made up of morning, afternoon, and evening, the night is made up of evening, night, and morning. So from 6 to 9 is generally referred to as evening, and after evening is night. But but both are still a part of the night. Anyway, Steve Smith can bowl, said common sense. He haven't bowled for a while. I think he made the Australian team as a leg spinner, but he hasn't bowled for a while. I doubt if his hand can still go over common sense. Can it? I doubt it. Labachane could bowl some spin. Could not. I don't understand the. I don't understand the question, because would not you call the West Indies bowling lineup in New Zealand the B? I don't understand what you're asking, Stephen Roach. God no, I don't understand what you're asking. It's pitched up to Simit, and Simit hit it through mid-on, wide mid-on, down to the long-on boundary for 4, bringing up the England 300. 303 for 5. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the question you're asking. 203 for 5. If you're asking if the West Indies bowling attack in New Zealand was at full strength, no, they can't be a full strength West Indies bowling attack without the two Josephs. You know? So there's no way that bowling attack in New Zealand. Neither was the New Zealand bowling attack. I think the New Zealand bowling attack by the end of the series was probably the C bowling attack. They were missing so many of their bowlers, you know. So many of their bowlers. So and I'm still, and the only reason why we draw the first test, you know, is because as New Zealand play with only 2 bowlers on the last day. They had only 2 bowlers. As Webster bowls to Simit, who covers up into the offside. 303 for 5. Okay. Yeah. Sherwin think England is going to score 500. I got your common sense. Off the back foot goes Simit, played it out into the offside. England is going to score 500 runs. If bowl Labachane, it would appeal for every ball. I would like to see Labachane come into the attack. You know, it will bring some interest. But will he bowl some medium pace or some leg spin? Common sense think that we should have won the test that we drew. Common sense, we should have lost the test. We should have lost that test match. You know, remember that Roach was plumb in front. You know, the RS show you that Roach was plumb in front, and the umpire never gave him out. And at New Zealand had a review, Roach would have been out, and we would have probably lost the test match. I don't think we should have won it. There's no way we're going to win that match. Webster bowls to Simity, covers up, played it back down the offside of the pitch to the bowler who field, and there is no run. End of 70, 203 for 5. We did not get any chance to win the match, man. We couldn't score that runs. Those runs can't score. I want to tell you common sense. If that match had a 6th day, West Indies would have lost. We couldn't score that runs and win the match. If it had a 6th day, and we can't, and I can't forget what happened in the match. Common sense. No, man. I must forget what happened in the match. And I don't see how we could have won that match, because if we try to attack the bowling to get the runs, then it's more likely that we would have lost the wickets. Remember, it's 8 wickets though. We're down now. We still need about 70 or 80 runs to win the match. Well, all right, cool. Well, I can't fight you. I can. Yeah, well, in your opinion, we should have won the match. Fine, respect your opinion. I disagree, though, that we could have won. So I respect your opinion to thinking that we could have won the match, but I disagree with you that we could have won the match. You know, 303 for 5. Root is 115. Bolan into the attack. Bowls to Root, and Root drives past mid-on. This will go very close to the boundary. The fielder giving chase. He runs very hard at it. And catch up with it now, sends the return in. And they will come back for 3. Joe Root moves up to 118. Simit is on 41. He comes into strike. Bolan pitched up. I'm surprised that Bolan is into the attack at this time. Well, maybe Nessa will share the new ball with Stark. And Simit has not been given his bowlers long spell, so it's okay. Who is that chased the ball just now? It wasn't Ed. I don't know. Who was it? That person. Maybe it's a substitute fielder. 2 slips and a gully goes down as Bolan bowls to Simit. Back of a length. He stand up tall and defend it down the offside of the pitch. There's no run. 306 for 5. 306 for 5. Yeah, man. Respect every time. Common sense. West Indies are not of fear. They don't like playing India. And this is a big long-term thing. All the other teams are going to the games. Is that West Indies? Let's watch Bolan. Over the wicket, bowls to Simit. Simit on the front foot, easy to mid-off, and there is no run. The score remains at 306 for 5. So long before the second new ball, and Mitchell Stark would definitely want to get some breakthrough now. Oh yeah, Ed can bowl a few. That's so true, you know, Sherwin. Oh, Sherwin, you it's a long time I haven't heard you come up with something good, you know, but that's a good idea. Ed should bowl a few. Agree with you 100%. Maybe Steve Simit forget. But they are all listening to us, so they will hear. Over the wicket, bowls to Simit, defense to mid-on, 306 for 5 after 70.5 overs. Just defend to mid-on. So 40%. So those 29 who had said that, that 20% who have said that they won't pass 300 is now out of the question. So the 300 to 349, which is 40%. I think they're going to get more than 349. I think it's more like between 350 and 399 that they will get. Although Sherwin thinks they will get 500. So let's see. Off the back foot goes Simit, but he cannot beat mid-off. The score remains at 306 for 5 at the end of 71. Simit should bowl instead. Come on. I think Lava Chain and Ed will bowl before. Oh. So how did you know that, Sherwin? That Ed is going to bowl next? Are you at the ground and seeing him warming up? Oh, did you? Sherwin is a genius. Sherwin, are you at the ground and saw Simit warming up or something? You have some connection or something? Wow. Sherwin. Sherwin. Well done, Sherwin. So Sherwin called it. Well done. Yeah. I just think female commentators should be commentators for female matches only, same for umpires. Don't agree with you, Mr. Casanova. I do not agree. And please, those comments, that's the opinion of Mr. Casanova. Those are not the opinions of the Cricket Forum. So please, I don't want any email or any letter morning. So those are, and I state categorically that I do not agree with those comments of Mr. Casanova. Those are not the comment of the Cricket Forum. Mr. Casanova, yeah, I was asking the question earlier if his hands can still go over 307 for 5 as Root eased Ed down to the cover boundary where it went straight to the fielder and they go through for a single. He moves up now to 119. Ed, The right arm off spinner. There's a slip in place. Bowls to Simit. Well bowled. Simit defends. You could see Simit winding up. And it's going to get Simit in a Sherwin. Why don't you say that? Yeah. Yeah, big up Sherwin. That is true, Davey. Simit uses his feet, comes down the pitch. Head saw him coming and dropped it short, but he balanced back and turned it away down to deep backward square leg on the boundary for 1. The score goes up to 308 for 5. Yeah, man, Sherwin a boss to them, man. Sherwin call that. Drives. Oh, the fielder cover dive way too early. And the ball goes to the left of mid-off, who has to move to his left. Another run. So they're just picking off Travis Edier. But I don't think Simit is going to pick him off. Simit is going to carry him. And carry him far. Head to Simit, who's after back foot, cannot beat cover. He's anxious. End of head over. 3 runs from it. 309 for 5. Who ready for the next wicket? Said Jamor Small. Jamor Small, who ready for the next wicket? I don't know. To me, it doesn't really matter to me if England make 500 or England make 350. Just here for the fun of it. In fact, I'm enjoying you guys' company more than how I'm enjoying the cricket. I enjoy watching the cricket, but you guys' company is above the cricket. 310 for 5 as that delivery was turned down to backward square leg for a single by Joe Root, who moves up to 121, and Simit 42 comes into strike. Boland is the bowler. Scott Boland, 20.1 overs, 2 for 73 has been his figure thus far. Interesting that he bowled 20. Boland bowled 20 after 72 overs. This is a big workload, you know. So how many? Yeah, this is a big workload for Boland. 20 after 71. As that one is played to mid-on, and there is no run. How did Harry Brook got out? Did he get caught at second slip, as I predicted, or caught out in the midfield? He got caught at first slip. Good catch again by Steve Simit, because Carey was standing up to the stump. It was a nothing shot again. It was outside the half stump. He dabbled at it. Edge found. Simit took the catch at first slip. After back foot, plays it to mid-off. And there is no run. I turn off the TV to come engage with you fans. I appreciate that. Common sense must prevail. I appreciate that, because, as I said, I enjoy the company more than the match. I enjoy the interaction. It has been calm since then. There's not much banter. Stephen Roach run out of lyrics. So there's not much banter. So it has been calm since then. Here's Scott Boland bowls to Simit, who turns it to the man at mid-on, and he turned it so slowly that he was able to go through for the single. One more to Simit, who is now on 43. England 311 for 5. Would have been a different story in New Zealand, I feel, if them Joseph was fit. Yeah, you can say that, Juna Benjamin, but you could also say that if Matt Henry, Jameson, Tucker, Simit, if they were fit, it would be a different story for the West Indies batsmen too. So while I agree that our bowling would have been much stronger, and that's why if doesn't play it, because you can always say if. That's why if doesn't play Juna Benjamin, because remember, Is that rain falling? Remember that they were really down to probably the third string bowling attack. I may leave the feed up during lunchtime and play some music and come back after lunch, and then I'll take it from there until I'm tired. So Bolan comes in, bowls to Root, and Root turns that away down to fine leg. Mid Stark sends the return in. He'll be resting for after lunch. He'll be going with that new ball. Oh, okay. Thought Brooks would have been out at second slip, but he's still out in the slip. When I watch Greaves bat, he reminds me of Root. You should go to prison. Sherwin should go to prison. Well, I can't tell him what. Yeah. You know, the thing about it, he never said that Greaves is as he was not comparing Greaves with Root. And because of this ability that I have to separate issues, I have to believe that he's not comparing ability, but it's just one of those things that whenever you see Greaves, it reminds him of Root because there's no comparison. Mr. Brown, some honey tea will help your voice. Is there an issue with my voice, Sherwin? I am not feeling it. I am not feeling it. So you're saying common sense, it's every team 13 man. Okay. Well bowled by Head, but well adjusted by Root. So let me go through the sequence there now. So there was Travis Head bowling to Joe Root. Joe Root was looking to reverse sweep. Ed saw that he was going to reverse sweep, fired down the leg side. Root adjust and swept it down to back with a square leg for 4. Brilliant dexterity. Round the wicket come Ed, bowls to Joe Root. Joe Root clipped it to the man at wide mid-on or a straight mid-wicket. 318 for 5. He's on 127. Ed cannot bowl to Root. You can see that. Head is round the wicket. There's a slip in place. Bowl to Root, and Root drives. Yes, he beats the man at mid-on this time. That's straight mid-wicket, and it goes down to the man at deep long on for a single. 319 for 5. Root is on 128. Smith is on 44. Here's Travis said he's going to bowl to Smith now. Over the wicket bowls. After back foot goes Smith. He strokes it into the covers. It will go towards the field and the cover boundary. End of over number 74. It's 320 for 5. Smith will keep the strike. He's on 45. I made a point. Who's there? I made a point, I think, in recent times. I think during that New Zealand series, or was it before? That the same way our persons are talking about Joel Anjo and Akeem Ogis and the under 19 captain, what's his name? Don and Jordan Johnson, so on. So Labachane is coming into the attack. The same way we spoke about Casey Carty and Alec Atanase and the Kirk McKenzie. The same way we spoke about the Shimron Etmire. 10 years ago, it was the same way we were speaking about Greaves as the next big thing in West Indies cricket. Yeah. You know, and I made that point a few months ago. It's the same way. And why is it that, why are we hyping up these guys even before they start performing? You know? Where are we? Short by Labachen is bowling medium pace, not his leg spinners, as that one is pulled to Simit at deep mid wicket. And Labachen is running back to the top of his mark because he wants to make sure that he gets in another over before lunch. Medium pace. Why he doesn't bowl leg spin? Short, after back foot goes Simit, he cracks it away down to that man and the cover backward point boundary for another single. So Simit will move up. Sorry, it was Joe Root. He moves up to 29. Simit and 46 comes into strike. So here is Labachen. He's over the wicket. He comes in bold, short, a loom, a tennis ball bouncer. You know, it just bounces and goes over the batsman head, and the umpire signal wide. It was so high over the batsman head. It was not, right at the top of the camera. Labachen bowls to Simit. Simit hit this in the air. Chance is out. Labachen got Simit. Oh, Lord, he's cock-a-whoop. James Simit will be hurting. That Labachen rushed him into playing a false stroke. It was a long up, and Simit reached for it and hit it down the man's throat, coming off the extra cover boundary. What a soft dismissal. What low IQ cricket. Look at that. These guys, what going through these guys' head? Look at Labachen. I told you to give me the ball a long time. That's what he's saying to Steve Simit. How long ago I told you to give me the ball? Let me get the breakthrough. What a dismissal. What a lollipop. Oh, disgraceful from Jamie Simit. He has no cricket IQ. This must be a joke. Common sense. He's better than than Green, than Cameron Green. Green couldn't get the breakthrough. Boland took the catch coming off the extra cover boundary. Look at him go. Whoa. And he said to Steve Simit, look how long I'm telling you to give me the ball to get the breakthrough. And here I was talking about, why is that bowling leg spin? Oh. You know, Labachen is going to say to his grandchildren, he's going to tell them, I bunks out Steve Simit, Jamie Simit. That's what he's going to tell his grandchildren, that he bunks them out. You know, they had 96 runs. So he's going to talk, he's not going to tell them that they had 96. He's going to tell them that they had 196. You know? And he was begging Steve Simit for the ball, and he comes on and he bunks out Jamie Simit. He could, you know, he's going to say, you know, I hit it hard in the pitch, 155. You have to thump it from under his neck, and it lobbed to the man at cover, you know, coming off the cover boundary. So fast was it that when him thump it, because him couldn't get the bat up in time. That's how the legend will go 30 years from now when he's talking to his grandchildren. It will not go like a long up. Labachen bowls to Will Jack, who leaves it alone, and that's a quick ball, you know. I want to see the reading on that. 136. Oh, that's quick. 136.5. He's working up some pace here. He's quicker than Greaves. He's quicker than Holder. He's bowling at Jaden Seal space. Wow. Labachen comes in, bowls to Will Jack, who played it into the offside. The bowler fielded his follow through. 323 for 6. Huh? Some energy into the cricket. Well done, Labachen. What a man is Labachen, man. Bang, bang. After lunch, I hope Starks go bang, bang, said common sense. Yes, 136.5. No, whoa, yeah. Yes, Mr. Casanova, that's fast. Yes, he's bowling quick. Look at that front knee. Wow. I hope Anderson Phillip is looking at that brace front knee. Travis said, bowls to Joe Root. Easy as usual. Just dabbed it down to backward point on the boundary for a single. The score goes up by 1, 2, 3, 24 for 6. Labachen. Lava chain. Thank you. Thank you, Common Sense. Thank you. I appreciate that much. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I told you he wants another over before lunch. That's why he was rushing through it, because he think that he could probably go bang bang. Travis said over the wicket, bowls to Jack. Jack deep in his crease, ease it down to long on for a single, one more to the total. So he will have another over. Ed may even have another over because Lava Chain rushes through his overs. And with 6 minutes to go before lunch, it has been a long session. England have lost 3 wickets in the session. As Joe Root goes deep in his crease to Ed coming round the wicket, the score remains at 325 for 6. 3 deliveries to go. Travis Ed, the right arm off spinner. He has turned a lot. He turned the ball more than Ruston Chase. And Root just rocked back and played it down to the fielder coming off the cover point boundary for one more. And the score goes up to 326 now. Root is on 131. Will Jack is on 1. I think Jamie Smith is crying right now. He must be crying. Ed bowls to Jacks, who played it back on the bunks to Ed, who toss it in the air. Spectators catch, they call it 326 for 6. Will Jacks, a slip in place. Just leave it alone to let it go through out there outside the half stump, and they are running to their field because they want to get in another 2 overs. They can, because Lava Chain goes through his overs very quickly. He run back to the top of his mark. They are not going to take any chance with him in this over. He's going to bowl some more bouncers against some wild bouncers, but they won't take any chance with him. Mr. Casanova said Anderson Phillips needs to go back in first-class cricket for 2 more seasons and work on his bowling before he comes back into the West Indies team. A short delivery, Root, drop the wrist, allow it to go through. Let's see the speed on that one. It looked close to 140, you know. Where's the speed? As I said, Lava Chain running back to his mark at 130.9. Now, why it looks so quick? It looked much quicker than that. As Root just drop his wrist, allows it to go through. Lava Chain over the wicket, bowls to Root, and Root deep in his crease. Work it to mid-wicket, Steve Smith field, and there is no run. 326 for 6. We are at over number 77. So I guess Mr. will start after lunch. 1 over to warm up. Short, Root pulls down to back with a square leg on the boundary. Another singer. He moves up by 1 to 132. The score is 327 for 6. Yeah, Jamie Smith, he will be very angry. Right now, I don't think anybody can go close to him. It was a brainless cricket shot. Common sense, you think that Smith would be a better bowler? And Will Jack just duck underneath it and goes through? Oh, Arsenal leading. Yeah, man, Arsenal, and with Manchester City drawing again today, Arsenal is now open up a 6-point lead at the top of the table. Yeah, I think they open up a 6-point lead. Lava Chain, let's go rough up some batsmen, said Jamur Small. Yeah, Lava Chain, yeah, he's bowling at a brace front knee. He's whistling through this over. They are not taking any chance with him. Final delivery of the over. He's going to bowl to Jacks. He didn't bowl to Jacks, and Jacks turn it away into the onside, and they go through for a quick single. Steve Smith could not pick up, and so it makes a single much more comfortable as he darts in on that one from mid-wicket. Root goes up to 132. No ball call. So it's a no ball call. So Lava Chain looking for that extra pace. Look at that brace front knee, man. Look at that brace front knee. Well done, Lava Chain. Look how he's throwing himself over his front leg well enough. So Root backs away. What is going on here? There's somebody that moves. And so Lava Chain over cannot finish. I just experienced Joe Root trying to make sure that this is the last over before tea with all his experience, and the Australians are not happy. And Root is saying that, but I think they're still going to get in the over. I think there was about 2 minutes left, about a minute and a half. Lava chain over the wicket, bowls to Root, and Root pulls down towards deep mid wicket. Bolan is there. Is that Bolan? No, it looked much slimmer than Bolan. End of the over. Root will keep the strike. 3:30. Yeah, as I said, you know, 1 minute. It was about a minute and a half to go. It's now a minute. 3:30. For 6, Joe Root is on 33. And so Travis Head will bowl the last over. Kirkham, you'd say, Mr. Brown, you're shocked. Lava chain bowling fast like seals and Head spinning the ball more than Chase. Yeah, that is true. It's the fact. I'm talking the fact. You know, it may sound harsh. You mean Australia is still going to win? So Root is deep in his crease, using all his experience. He's not going to run 2. So there's no need. There's a lot of adrenaline pumping through Lava chain as he gave chase down towards deep mid-on, just about probably outside where the edge of the 30-yard circle would have been. Root just come off strike and turn it over to Jack. Jack deep in his crease, played it back down the inside of the pitch to Head. And there is no run. 4 deliveries before lunch. So here is Travis Head. There's a slip in place. That's Steve Smith. He's over the wicket. Bowls to Will Jack. Will Jack on the front foot. Drives. Misses. The ball goes straight to the he was on the front foot looking for a big ball drive. The ball was 2 feet. Travis Head bowls off the back foot was Will Jack, and he does the self-serve thing, and he said, over to you, Joe Root. I am not facing any more ball before lunch. It's over to you, boss. Can't blame him. Over to you, Joe Root. Let's see what Joe Root will do. And he swept it away down back with a square leg for 4. He said, this is how you deal with these bowlers, man. Just pull it out the sweep. 1 delivery to 2 deliveries before lunch or 100 deliveries before lunch. Travis said, can't bowl to me. So he just come on his front foot and he swept it away down back with a square leg for 4. He moves up to 138. Final delivery before lunch. Travis said, bowls to Joe Root and he tried to reverse sweep and misses and it goes through to the keeper. Wow. And Travis said, looking like, did he get a bottom edge onto that? Review it if you want. Well, that DRS time will take a long time to go up. Steve Smith is just pressuring it. They're not going to review it. It was just, it's just banter. That's just banter. Is Head Australia best batsman? No, you couldn't. To say Australia best batsman, you know, Sherwin, and this is where you have to understand the cricket, Sherwin. Australia best batsman is not someone having a good run. Australia best batsman is a body of work over a career. You know? So there's no way you could look at Travis Head and say that he's Australia's best batsman when Steve Smith is in the team. Because the best batsman is not, as I said, is not someone having a good run, but is what you do over a career. Maybe if you want to say, is he Australia's most informed batsman? Then yes, he's definitely Australia's most informed batsman, which is different from being Australia's best batsman. You're right. You know, so thank you all for being here. I will not end the stream. I'll play some music in the meantime, and I will be back for the post-lunch session. So let me see if I can find some music. I know these music is not everybody love them, but these are my time. So the poll question is that England have made 125 runs in the first session while losing 3 wickets. As Labachane will get a chance to start after lunch. Whose session was it? Was it England's session or was it Australia session? Matthew, Australia picked up 3 frontline batsmen. England losing 3 wickets. It's 336 for 6. 2 delivery, 2 overs before the new ball is due. Welcome back to everyone to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank you very much for being here. We will go as long as it's possible. Labachane to Jack down the leg side. Kerry did not collect. Jack pulled out of the pull shot. The score remains at 336 for 6. Please remember to check out the Cricket Forum store in the video description. Click on the link in the video description and you can use that link to shop on our Cricket Forum store on the Amazon page. High in the air, chance, it's in the crowd, 6. It was down the leg side, back of a length, and he hit it high in the air. For a moment, I thought fine leg was in business, but it sailed over his head and went for 6. So 6 runs to Will Jack, as Labachane, nothing didn't work on that occasion, and he hit it away over deep mid-wicket for 6. It got what it deserved. It duly got what it deserved. So 6 runs to Will Jack, punishing. Labachane to Jack, short delivery, ducks under it, allows it to go through to the keeper. So this is Labachane last over. He has gotten the breakthrough, and this will be his last over, no doubt about it. We expect that Stark will take over from him. So the next over from this end, Stark will bowl it. Labachane comes in, bowls to Jack, down the leg side again. Jack allows it to go through. You know, I think that if does a play, does it? Labachane comes in, bowls to Jack. Jack pulls again, this time down to fine leg, straight to start this time, all along the ground. They will get a single. The score goes up to 343. 343 for 6 in over number 79. 1 delivery to come in over number 79. The field is spread far and wide. I can tell you that there's Joe Root is on strike now. He's on 138 from exactly 200 deliveries. He wouldn't want to get out to Labachane. Labachane bowls to Root. Root's just ducked underneath it. Just bend forward and allow a harmless bouncer to go over his back. That's it for Labachane. 3 overs, 1 for 14. Starks will be next from this end. Jamor Small is saying that he got out today playing a sweep shot. The ball was out the leg stump and it spin right back into the stump. So you never had your feet in the right place, then Jamor Small, or it was a big leg spinner that we need to get to play for West Indies. Probably one of those big leg spinner that we need to get to play for West Indies. So Webster will bowl it over, I guess, then 343 for 6. Well, England would have wished that it was 343 for 3. Well, it wouldn't be 343 for 3. It would be more than that, because 343 for 3 means Harry Brook would still be batting. So Webster is bowling his half spin just to get through this over. Comes in, bowls, full toss, hit away to mid-off, and there is no run. This is just to get through the over. So Jamor Small, there wasn't much turn, eh? There was a lot of turn, should say. Your foot wasn't in the right position, Jamor Small, or it was a big spinner. And that one popped, you know, and that's why I would have loved to see Murphy in this Australian team. That one popped off a good length. Well, again, he's very tall. Webster is a tall chap. Comes in, bowls down the leg side, worked away by Will Jack down to the fielder coming off the mid-wicket boundary for a single. The score goes up by 1 to 344 for 6. We are in the 80th over. 2 deliveries to come before Starks begin to run in. So he's well rested. Mid-Stark. Here's Webster. None for 17 from 4.4. Bowls to Root. Root swept this away. Down back with a square leg. The fielder comes in, sends the return in. They took it on the full and swept it down back with a square leg. Just reaching out, getting it on the full and sweeping it down back with a square leg. And they got a single. 345 for 6. Webster over the wicket. Bowls off the back foot goes Will Jacks. And he slapped this down to the fielder on the cover boundary. He has to move to his right. And by moving to his right, he allows the batsman to come back for 2. The score will go now to goes up to 347 for 6. At the end of the 80th over, the new ball is due. It's going to be very interesting now because I expect Stark to be running in with that new ball. And out come the 4th umpire with the new ball. So Stark, who have bowled 18 overs, 2 maiden, 2 for 77. I expect him now to take the new ball. And clearly they are taking the new ball. They are doing some work there for his landing. The groundsmen are beating down, just leveling out where he's landing, and he's showing them exactly where he wants them to beat out so that there will be no issues with his landing when he begins to run in. Jammer, what? Oh, you weren't in position. He wasn't spinning that big. You were just not in position. Got you, boss man. He was just. It's not that he was a big spin off the ball. It was you just not in position to negotiate the turn. Got your boss. It's all right. It happened to all of us. So Stark will start. 2 slip and a gully, backward point and a mid-off. I have seen those 5. I assume there's someone at long leg. The left arm seamer is over the wicket, bowls to Root, Root drives to mid-off. So we know that there are 2 slips, and then we know that there's a cover, we know there's a mid-off, we know that there's a backward point. So those are the 5, and we know that there's a long leg. Those are the 6. I'll tell you where the other 3 fielders are in a while, as soon as I get any image of where they are. So Root just driving that to mid-off. His seconds now as 347 for 6 Australia. England, sorry. Stark to Root. His second 100 in Australia. 2 slip and a gully. Bowls to Root. Root plays it to the man at cover and there is no run. So there are 2 slips and a gully. Backward point cover mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. And a man, well, sorry. 2 slip and a gully. A man deep on the backward point boundary. Then there's cover, there's mid-off, a deep backward square leg, and a long leg. So it's a 6-3 field. 6-3 field. 2 slips, a gully, deep point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, deep backward square leg, and a man on the long leg boundary. That's the field. A Stark, the left arm seamer. Over the wicket, bowls to the right-handed Joe Root with the second new ball, and he covers up and played it down the off side of the pitch. The bowler skipped across, fielding his follow-through. The score remains at 347 for 6. So the poll is going on. I have the poll up. Who do you think won the morning session? 75% of you believe that Australia won the morning session, having picked up the 3 wickets. Interesting. Keep the votes coming in. Let's get 100 votes on this one and see what the result will be. Stark over the wicket, bowls to Root. Root drives on the move to mid-off. This pitch is good, you know. When you see a batsman driving on the move like that, both feet were in the air as he drives that ball. It's not encouraged. I hope the youngsters are watching. Don't follow and play that shot. You know, please don't play it on the move. You need a firm base. But Root is a veteran, you know. So the field remained the same as I told you. 2 slips, a gully, a man on the backward point boundary, the mid-half, the mid-on, the cover, the backward square leg on the boundary, and the long leg. Start, the left arm seamer. Over the wicket, bowls to Root. Yorker ducked out, goes to the man at cover. There is no run. Well played, well bowled. That was 140 clicks. 140 clicks as he begins to warm up now. Stark is really warming up now. It was quite a Yorker. It was a full ball though. It's you wouldn't call it a long up. It was fuller than a long up. It was just that a matter of probably just missed the Yorker. Well played by Joe Root. It was a good delivery. It was a good delivery indeed. Well played, Joe Root. Stark with the second new ball, bowls to Root, and Root steer this away down to third man. Work for the field and the backward point boundary. Cannot get there 4 runs. And Stark not happy with the effort of that field on the backward point boundary. As Root steered that wide of the gully, and the field at backward point was beaten to his left. Opened the face of the bat, steered wide of gully. The fielder on the backward point boundary should have put in the dive, but he did not. And Stark is not happy with that. When you don't do that when you don't help, you should put in the dive, The big pace bowler will say, I don't want that man in the team anymore, boss. I don't want him in the team, man. That man does not feel my ball. Man just allow my ball to run in at the boundary. After me, I run him from so far, lick off the man edge. And lick off the man edge and, they put the boundary and they just allow it to go in at the boundary. So bowler to get the ball to share the second new ball with mid Stark. So for bowler, the backward point comes up off the boundary, but he's bowling to Will Jack. And Jack plays it exactly to backward point and there is no run. So it's an orthodox field on the offside where you have the 2 slip, the gully, the backward point, the cover, and the middle. Orthodox field on the offside. 2 slips, a gully, backward point, cover, and mid-off. On the onside, you have a mid-on, and you have a man on the long leg boundary. I will tell you shortly where the next fielder is, but he's on the onside. Yes. I don't know if he's at mid-wicket or they push him right back on the backward square leg boundary. I don't know at this time. Ball and over the wicket as the 2 slips goes down and Will Jack is beaten outside the half stump as he pushes forward and the ball goes through to the keeper and there's no run. So that's bowling is at 133 and Labachain was bowling at 136. Wow. But it's the ability to do it over and over, eh? So the big Queenslander touching down in the right area. That's the spot. That's the spot touching down in the right area. Here is Boland. Over the wicket, bowls to Jack, allows it to go through outside the half stump. 351 for 6. As that one was back of a length, he just allows it to go through. Push the left pad. At no time did he look to play. It goes through. And the score remains at 351 for 6. England winning the toss and batting. So they will look to push up to 400. I think they're 6 wicket down. Interesting. Trying to find where that fielder is mid-wicket. So it's at mid-wicket. So the 3 on the inside is mid-on, mid-wicket, and long leg. Boland bowls to Jacks, allows it to go through. The ball shaped back in, but it was never challenging the half stump. Carey collects. The score remains at 351 for 6. Yes, so the field on the onside is the mid-on, the mid-wicket, and the man at long leg. It's really long leg. He's right around, he's probably past the 45, and he's probably midway between a long leg and a backward square leg on the boundary. He probably passed the 45. They don't Bowling to Jacks. Over the wicket. Bowls to Jacks. Jacks forward. Turn it away to the man at mid-wicket. The score remains at 351 for 5. As Jack came on the front foot, it got the inner portion of the bat. And it goes to the man at mid-wicket. It's a jerkily. He played it there. 351 for 6. Will Jack is on 13. Joe Root is on 143. Will Jack is on 13. Joe Root is on 143. So there are 3 slips in place now, and a gully Jacks leave outside the half stump. End of the second over with the new ball. The score remains at 351 for 6. So except that 4 that went down to third man region. That's the only scoring shot off the second new ball thus far, as the bowlers are on target. The Australian bowling is relentless. I think earlier today somebody said that there's no intensity. And I don't agree with that. I think there is intensity. I mean, you're playing for World Test Championships point. The winner of the last World Test Championship received $4 million US. I mean, that's a lot of money. Even if you divide it between 15, you know, that's a lot of money. Versus still getting more than 200,000 each. 200,000 US dollars is a lot of money. And you know that the next World Test Championship final, the winning prize will be more than that. Start to edge. Oh, for a moment, I thought Joe Root hedged that as he looks to cut. And it goes over the top of the bat. He looks to cut. And it goes over the top of the horizontal bat. For a moment, I thought it was edge. Joe Root flirting with danger despite the 3 slips. So that lady went and bought 2 glasses of beer. Why the gentleman never go and get it himself? Well, maybe, yeah, maybe it's not a gentleman she got it for. Maybe it's a... Starks to Root. Root turned this away down to the man at long leg for a single. 1 more to the total. So it's 352 now for 6. As he turned that away down to the man at long leg. Pitched up, turn it away to the man at long leg for a single. 352 for 6. Stark in his second over with this new ball. Sometimes water really tastes good enough. Stark to Jacks allows it to go through outside the half stump as the big seamer push that one across him, setting him up for the one that comes back into him. That's 144 click, you know. So I think the big seamer just floating one up. That's why he bowled that one so wide. Because he's going to bring back one into him. So he bowled it very wide to say, this is what I'm doing, Will Jack. You know. So this is a standard field. So I don't think I need to go over it. It's a standard field. The 3 slips. Well, the 2 is 3 slips. No, 2 slip and a gully, backward point, cover, and a mid-off. Mid-on, mid-wicket, and a long leg. Standard field. Over the wicket, the big bowler bowls to Jacks, who flashes outside the half stump through to the keeper. And there is no run. He pitched up, he was into the drive, beat on the outside edge, through to Carey. And there is no run. The score remains at 352 for 6. Please remember to check out the Cricket Forum store in the video description. Just click on the link and open our Amazon storefront on Amazon. And you can shop from our store. So the big fast bowler is around the wicket, is over the wicket to the right-hander. The big bird, the left-hander, start, bowls to Jack. Jack turn this away. Through back with a square leg, it goes into the boundary for 4. So that was back of a length, rising towards his hip. And Jacks just turned it away, threw back with a square leg. No chance for the field at long leg. That's Nessa. And it goes into the boundary for 4 at backward square leg. So that will take him up to 17, and the score will go up now to 360 for 6. 360 for 6. England really looking to push on here now and get a very big one. 360 for 6. Keep the comments coming. You know, without the comments, the commentary becomes boring. You know, that turn away through mid-wicket for a singer. So 357. Didn't? It was 352 and they hit the 4. Okay, all right, cool. I thought it was 356 and he hit the 4. So the scoreboard is moving rather fast. You know, so Stark not quite happy with his landing, and so the groundsman is out back on the field again to beat down that era, you know, and also for Boland. Oh, so then let the sleep come in, eh? Sleep just start coming, and I really want to watch Stark spell. I have to watch Stark spell. Stark spell. Stark's a big bowler, man. You have to watch Starks. 357 for 6. England winning the toss and batting. It's a sellout crowd. Don't watch those empty seats. They're probably gone to have some lunch or gone to the cafeteria, the bathroom, you know, gone to have a drink as Joe Root plays this one down backward of point for 4. Back of a length from Boland and Will Jacks just opened the face of the bat, beat backward point. Wasn't in any anger. He just guided it away for 4. So 4 runs to Will Jack, which will take him up now to 21. Hit that at the top of the bunks, and despite the best effort of Nessa, he just couldn't hold it back in. So 144 to Joe Root, 22 to Will Jacks, 361 for 4. See, 361 for 6. He's in bowls to Jack. Jack taken on the pad as he looked to turn that into the onside, and there was no run. Jamor Small, I think Ben Stokes look well rested. Should Ben Stokes open the bowling for England? Ben Stokes is no doubt England #1 bowler in this team, you know. Imagine if Archer is playing, you would say Archer is the #1. But with no Archer, Ben Stokes is the most threatening English bowler. And he should probably open the bowling. 361 for 6. 2 slips goes down as Boland bowl to Jacks, who push the left pad, allows it to go through to the keeper. And there's no damage done. The score remains the same at 361 for 6. You know, should Ben Stokes open the bowling? Should he? It's an interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation. Should he open the bowling for England? Has he ever bowled a new ball in a test? I don't know. Boland over the wicket. Bowls to Jacks, same thing. Outside the arm from too wide to interest the batsman, who allows it to go through. In fact, it was so wide that he didn't even need to push the left pad. He just raises the bat and allows it to go through to the keeper. You know? Root made more than 100 runs than any other players in Australia. More 100. Not true. This is Root's second century in Australia. You know? Root never had 100 in Australia before. Boland to Jack, much straighter. He drives it to me down. There's no run. In Patrick, no man, Root never had a test 100 in Australia. His first test 100 was a test 100 in the second test match. Where was that? Adelaide? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Adelaide was the second test match, right? Yeah, Brisbane was the third. Adelaide was the second. Brisbane the third, and the fourth was at Melbourne, as usual. The Boxing Day test match. Bowl onto Jacks. Jacks taken on the body as that one gripped and comes back into him shortly. Push forward, taken on the body. 361 for 6 at the end of 84. This is over from mid-start. It's going to be a crucial over, this one from mid-start. Oh, the one that comes back and the one that leave him. And the batsman have to pick up that. The batsman has to pick up that one. 361 for 6. So it's the same standard field for Stark to Root with the field on the deep backward point boundary. Over the wicket to Root, and Root cuts and misses again as it goes through to the keeper. Why Root playing that shot? I would not be happy. And he's just dabbing. I think that if he's going to play that shot, he should flash hard. Instead of just dab, flash hard at it. He needs to make 100. Yeah, what is he doing? Stark to Root, Root taken on the body as he looked to turn that into the onside. The ball goes down to backward point and there is no run. 361 for 6. Yeah, what is he doing, Jamor Small? What is he doing? Oh, yeah, you're saying that Root has more test 100 than... Yeah, he does. I thought you were talking about the Australia. Yeah, but he has more as test 100. Stop to. He's over the wicket now to Root, and Root is beat outside the half stump. Genuinely so this time. It pitched and held its line, go across the right hander, and he's beaten outside the half stump. That was a genuine beaten by Stark. That was not the case where he plays a poor shot. He was genuinely beaten outside the half stump. So I'd love to see Root get 150. Let's watch Stark now, the fourth delivery of his third over with the second new ball. He's over the wicket, balls to Joe Root, who steered it away down to that fielder on the deep backward point boundary for another singer. So he goes up to 145. He was well in control of it that time. He just steered it away down there for a singer. So Will Jack comes into strike. Will Jack should be England number 3, you know. I always say that. A big fast bowler. 2 slips on a gully for Jacks. Stark bowls to him, beaten outside the half stump. Good delivery. Good see that Stark. Stark is warming up now. That one was 140.6, 141. But he has bowled 144 in the over thus far. But that's a good testing delivery. Rising outside the batsman half stump, through to the keeper. You know, Carey took it chest height. So 1 delivery to go in this over from Stark. The big Australian left arm seamer begins to move in now. He's on his way. He leans forward. He gathers momentum over the wicket. Bowls to Jack. Jack taken in the midriff era. End of over number 85. 362 for 6. The score. 362 for 6. David Burtney said, Mr. Brown, sometimes you're going digital. Going digital. Yeah, it was a good length. It was a good length. It was a good length. Root needs 6 more runs. Sometimes you're going digital. Here is Boland. He's going to come in now to bowl to Root. He's bowled to Root, and that's a nice delivery outside the half stump, which Root probably, I would love to give him the benefit of the doubt that he dropped the hand. I would like to see the replay. Here's the replay. Boland outside the half stump. Root coming forward. He was beaten. He dropped the wrist after the ball pass. Root is probably not interested in a double 100 here. So Scott Boland. He's going to run in now to bowl to Joe Root. He's over the wicket. Bowls to Joe Root, and Joe Root play this away down to that fielder on the backward point boundary for a single. Nessa is it. It's 363. 363 for 6. Joe Root is on 146. 146. Over the wicket, bowls to Will Jackson. That one took him in the midriff section. And there is no run. It hit him right on the box. Hit him right on the box. Is he down? That one hit him right on the box. But he seems to be okay. Seems to be well protected. He's just retaking his guard. But you're saying that sometime I'm fading out. Probably this is probably my last over, you know, because maybe I am sleeping. Yes, but I shouldn't be fading out because unless I'm sleeping, Patrick Davey. I'm just checking the audio here. The audio is good, so unless I'm sleeping, the audio is at maximum level when I'm checking it here. So it's 363. So maybe I'm dropping asleep and some of the cricket is passing me by. 363 for 6. So let's do this delivery as Matt Boland comes in. 2 slip and a gully. Deep backward point over the wicket. Bowls to Will Jack, and Will Jack taken on the pads. Tie for the peel. Struck outside the line of the half stump. You can review it if you want. Let us see how long this clock is going to take to go up. Steve Smith is saying height. I agree with him that it is high. I also think that he struck outside the line of the half stump. It was always going to bounce over the stump, according to Steve Smith. And for me, it struck outside the line. Yeah, outside the line. That's clearly outside the line. And it's also high. Right. Look at it this way. Look, above the stump. It hit him above the stump. So you can see that. So what Matt Boland is looking at? Oh, impact was in line, but it's going over the stump. All right, cool. It's going far over the stump. Boland is over the wicket to Jacks. He's in, bowls to Jacks, and Jacks played it back down the half side of the pitch to the bowler. And there is no run. I want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate your company. Apparently now the sleep getting the better of me. So take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones. Have a wonderful